I've been based in Singapore for the past 22 years. So people say to me, why Singapore? How'd you get there? I went there for a one-week project as a consultant. It's been a very long week. The objective of that project was to take an entire country that was focused on low-cost manufacturing and convenient geographical positioning and reposition it for a world where all the manufacturing went to China, all the back office operations went to India and to other low-cost areas, and all this entire country was left with was a small island with people. No natural resources, no oil reserves, no agricultural background, right? And the future of the country had to shift to be able to continue to create value for the world, for people like you and me. So if you look at Singapore today, not only does it have a #1 airline and a #1 airport, but it's a financial center, it's an educational center, it's a research center, it's a legal center, it's an insurance center, it's a convention center. All of that has to do with service. But the entire population had not been educated or prepared for service. They'd been educated and prepared to go to work in the factories. So there was an entire national transformation that had to be done, and I was privileged to be part of that. It's still my home base. I live there with my wife, and we're on a lot of airplane flights every year. #1 airline in the world. Let's just dig into this for a second, right? Who makes their aircraft? Boeing and Airbus. Who makes the aircraft for almost every other airline on the planet? Boeing and Airbus. So it's difficult to differentiate based on that, right? Do you think that they're #1 because they fly to better airports? Better travel agents? Better website? No, but they've differentiated in a way that has allowed them to become not only ranked #1, but one of the most profitable airlines in the world in an industry where airlines go out of business from time to time. Yeah, how'd they do that? Yeah, they differentiated based on the service experience. Now, by the way, they actually have two cultures. One is a service excellence culture. The other is a cost effectiveness culture. Now remember, all three of these are happening in a tiny island that has less land mass than 5 times Manhattan and less than 5 million people. Changi International Airport, #1 airport in the world. They've got 42 million visitors a year, 28,000 people go to work every day, but only 1,300 actually work for the airport authority. Everybody else is from some other organization in the ecosystem. So it could be a bank, it could be the police, it could be customs, it could be immigration, it could be the airline, but they've all got to work absolutely together because let me ask you, if you're in an airport and you're lost, if you're in an airport and you're looking for something, who will you ask? Anyone! Anyone that looks like they work there, right? Which means the person who works in the pharmacy needs to know where the gates are. The person at the gate needs to know where the post office is. You need everybody being willing and ready to take care of everybody else. Clear? So it's an entire service ecosystem, and then we've created that with this kind of a mission. Many partners, many missions, one Changi. This is the problem in most large organizations. We recruit for this, marketing says that. We pay for this, we promise that. The customer asks for this, the boss focuses on that. I can see you're already giggling over here at the table, which means this looks familiar. Okay, my work with organizations and my objective with you is to make this look like that. By the way, that's all Singapore Airlines has been doing for 39 years. It's not that they're spending more, they've just figured out how to take every single thing that could impact the overall culture of an organization and get them aligned with each other to produce a common result. At Changi Airport, there's a service transaction called arrival. It starts when your aircraft door opens and you step out into the aero bridge. Now, we've all done that, right? And don't you notice right away whether it's clean or whether it's dirty? Whether it's air, right, immediately you're already forming an opinion. Then you step into the terminal building. Where's the signage? Where's the bathroom? Are there trolley carts available, right? Then you get down to immigration if you're in an international situation. Then you go look for your bags. Then you're looking for a trolley again. Then you're going through customs. Then you're going outside into the arrivals area. Then you're getting to the taxi. The moment the taxi door closes, that transaction is complete. Now, of all those perception points along the way, the airport authority is not physically responsible for any of them. But they're concerned about every one of them, and they track them because they have an aspiration. They want to be known as the best and friendliest airport in the world. But there was one point that kept getting low scores on the friendly assessment category in the survey. Think about it. From aircraft door to taxi door, what would be the one point that would keep getting low scores for not being friendly? Right. It's not their job to be friendly. Their job is to check you out. But if your aspiration is to be the friendliest airport on the planet, you will not have an excuse and just say, well, that's the way it is, it's the nature of the job. So what they did is they dug in and they thought about asking the immigration officer to make small talk and blah, blah, but that would be a problem because there was a KPI called speed, right? So they analyzed it further and they solved the problem with this. They simply put a small container with little candies on every single immigration counter. And they taught the immigration officers a new script with one word. Sweet. That's it. Passport? Sweet. The friendly scores shot up. Now, this airport is not just about giving you a piece of candy. I mean, they are really drilling into creating a surprising, personalized, stress-free experience for 42 million people a year. So they put a butterfly garden in the airport. Now, one of the building blocks is called service benchmarking. And a lot of people think of benchmarking as competitive analysis, but there is no other airport in the world that has a butterfly garden. So where did they get that idea? Well, where else in the world do families go and have to spend some time, and sometimes there's high stress? Hospital, hospital. And some of the best hospitals in the world have gardens, and then some of the best gardens in the world are butterflies, where you can literally just stand still and they'll come and land on you, and you'll leave there going, what an airport. They have a 4-story slide to tire your kids out. Wouldn't you appreciate that? What's that got to do with aircraft? It has everything to do with this, which is what drives them. They're after giving you an experience, and whatever it is they can do to improve the value of your experience, to them, that's what turns them on.